Hi guys, welcome to Millennial Movie Fan Channel. My name's Tyler. Today's retro review is going to be for Do the Right Thing, directed by Spike Lee. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you give me a thumbs up down below and hit subscribe and the little notification bell. That way you get alerts when I post a new video. Also share this video around to all your friends and family on Facebook, Twitter, and all the different social media outlets. It really helps out the channel and spreads the word of what we do here, talking movies with each other. There's an interesting choice in the beginning of this movie where Spike Lee spends a long time on this dance scene that is set to a Public Enemy song, Fight the Power, and it zooms in and has different angles of the girl dancing and different outfits, and it's kind of funny. And I was like, what the hell? I don't know. I didn't expect the movie to start like that. I didn't really know what this movie was all about either. I just heard super good things. So that was definitely interesting. I like how it fit with the rest of the movie. After I saw it, I was like, okay, I understand, kind of stylized and based on what the rest of the movie was. It fit the tone right. So I was like, okay. But it kind of gets you set up for this is the kind of movie this is going to be. And it does fit in. This is a character-driven movie with a lot of personality. Some of these characters have ridiculous names and over-the-top characteristics. There's a woman called Mother Sister. There's a guy called the Mayor. Smiley. Sam Jackson is a radio host named Love Daddy. And Sweet Dick Willie. Awesome name. And there's really great quotes in it too. It's also very well written dialogue, and everything is just spot on. I like the mayor guy is kind of drunk. He stumbles around. He walks into the convenience store owned by Asian people, and they're like, yeah, we don't have the beer that you have. He's like,
but you asking a lot to make a man change his beer. You asking a lot, doctor.
And Sweet Dick Willie also has a funny line where he's like, you're 30 cents away from having a quarter, and I thought that was hilarious. So the movie's really funny and really bombastic and over the top, but it also tackles a lot of really topical issues. It goes deep into race in the 80s and 90s, and it does it in a very gripping way. Spike Lee depicts this multiracial community in New York City that wrestles with racial diversity and inequality. And when the movie starts, it's really upbeat, and you see people interacting in these comical ways and have really witty comebacks towards each other, and you're kind of like, okay, this is fun, I'm into this. And it is fun, but despite the fact that it seems that everyone is getting along and tolerating the differences that they do have and that they're kind of picking on each other for, there is a tension that is boiling. And pun intended, because the whole movie there's a heat wave that's going on. But the movie has a lot of lessons within it that are pertaining to loving your neighbor and being good to others. And it also speaks to cruelty and how violence is not the answer, but sometimes you have to fight back and do the right thing, pun intended. I love that Malcolm X and Martin Luther King are mentioned throughout by Smiley, the guy with the stutter, and just in other ways also are alluded to. The things that they stood for are definitely super relevant. Their quotes are also featured at the end of the movie, which I thought was very apropos, because Malcolm X and Martin Luther King are the yin and the yang of the civil rights movement. They're different sides of the same coin. In this film, we see Spike Lee's character Mookie take a lot of flack from the Italian-American guy that he works for and his sons, and he tolerates their prejudice. The son is played by John Turturro, who was the Jesus in one of my favorite movies, The Big Lebowski.
Nobody fucks with the Jesus.
And he was also the butler, Mr. Deeds.
Sneaky, sir.
And a bunch of other movies. He's a great actor, man, and this was a great role for him. He had a lot to do with what little time he had on screen, so he made the most of that. No character was underserved in this movie or too small. Everyone that came in and made an impact with, even if they just had a one-liner, they were memorable. And that's why this movie really hit me and resonated with me, and the fact that they did that and the themes that they were putting across and the topics they were discussing were so important and so deep, and they were able to pull that off was just astounding. The man that Mookie works for is prejudiced, but he doesn't have the same hatred and vitriol that his son has towards the black people in the community. He actually has a mutual respect for them, and he's proud of the fact that they come in and are his customer base, and they've grown up eating in his pizzeria, eating his food. But at the end of the movie, acts of violence, like him destroying the guy's radio, the guy attacking him because he destroyed the radio, the police brutality that then kills that guy, and Mookie throwing the garbage can through his window, just poured fuel onto the fire of this tension that was already at a boiling point. People, this entire movie, were getting in each other's face and hyping each other up to fight and riling up and trying to incite situations to become more violent, and especially ones that could have been resolved other ways. Like when Giancarlo Esposito's character gets his shoe ran over by the white guy on the bike, it scuffs his shoe up a little bit, and he runs up to him and he's like ready to fight him, and the people around him are like, yeah, fight this guy. And it's like, dude, it was a shoe. And the guy was so like, oh, I'm sorry about he was like apologetic. And then they made it about race, and a lot of the time race was brought up by the Italian guys in Mookie's store, by other people, and you even see the black people in this movie are prejudiced against the Asian business owners. You know, they are both going through their own kind of struggle at this time in America where they're not fully accepted and people have these prejudices, and you see that everybody is dealing with that and wrestling with that and trying to unlearn that has been ingrained in them. So it's really no surprise that riot happened at the end when these people were acting in such a way that was to provoke others into action, because everybody just had this growing tension. It was building up, and it was hot that summer, and everybody's just kind of getting under each other's skin. It came to a head, and unfortunately the radio guy died. It really shouldn't have ever gotten to that point, especially when you see the people and it's so jovial in the beginning of the movie, and they are living together and making it work, and it just seems like it's so easy to be able to make it work, but people have differences and they can't get over them. But if they would just talk instead of jumping to violence immediately or encouraging violence the way that people are in this movie, if they just did the right thing, we'd be able to live all together in harmony. But I thought this movie was a great watch for Black History Month, and it displayed people as people, no matter what color they are. They were people, and they had different kind of characteristics and personality types that were very unique. These characters were so funny and so dynamic also. They all had their own kind of reasons for why they act the way that they act, as over the top as some of them might have been. But the movie also showed people coming together and coming apart in very real ways, and that's one of the things I appreciate most. I think there's a lot to learn from this film, no matter who you are or what your background is. This was such a great movie for all those reasons. I was thoroughly impressed, so I definitely recommend Do the Right Thing. And Spike Lee is an impressive director, and this is definitely worth a watch. So let me know what you guys thought down below, and give me a thumbs up like I said in the beginning, and subscribe, hit the little bell, and share this video around on all the different social medias, and I will see you guys in the next video.